extra time.
সত্যি জীবন গড়ে দেয়।
Yeah. Yep.
Any comment, Phil, on that?
No, I thought we gave ourselves at halfway. We gave ourselves a very good chance to keep ourselves in the series. You know, we came this afternoon. Sorry, very optimistic that the series was still there to be drawn. At halfway to bowl them out for 270, whatever it was a great effort, I thought, by the bowlers. And we let ourselves down with the bat. There's not a lot more to say than that. We let ourselves down with the bat, and it's it's something that we've been talking about for 5 games now. We should be sure that the Wanderers that we could play better than we have done, but tonight was disappointing.
Yes, Srinivas.
You introduced such a beautiful pace culture in the South African team where the test format is concerned. From a one-day perspective, is it exactly the opposite direction that South Africa needs to now look at going forward, considering the kind of pitches that are at play in 50 over any of the world you travel?
Well, I don't think so. I think you want to have a group of people a group of players that can adapt to different conditions and play accordingly. And we know that we have those players. They haven't produced it in this series, and that's disappointing. But I think the way we've played as a group. In some games has been very disappointing, especially tonight, because tonight was, there was still a lot to play for in the series, and that's a disappointing thing. But going forward in one-day cricket, when I came here, we spoke about building for the World Cup and towards the World Cup. In England in May and June, I don't believe that the ball will spin as much as we've seen here. I think India's got two world-class spinners, and they might probably spin it anywhere, but we've got a whole year to learn to deal with that sort of stuff, but I don't believe that it will spin that much in England in July next year, June, July next year.
Whether you might have if you'd had a replacement all round for Morris, would you have liked that option? So you've got some batting today?
Yeah, perhaps, but the squad is the squad. We had the players here that we felt we could use in this series, and then in the next series, our next one-day series is in Sri Lanka, and there might be some new faces as well. So like I said from September that we were going to look at new players. We've seen Klaasen came in and has done very well. We've seen Ngidi in one-day cricket for the first time. He's also done reasonably well. Aiden Markram's been asked to captain. And he's shown glimpses. He's shown some glimpses. I think I don't know whether that's been too much for him. It's something that I will have to review myself. I don't know if the whole responsibility around captain has been too much for him, but it seems to me that he's trying to bat in a way that is not the Aiden Markram that I saw in September, and I've spoken to him about that. But we've seen some new faces, and we've seen. I set out to see new people, and we've seen those, and then we'll have to assess where we go, how we go forward from here.
Yes.
Can you talk us through what was the brief and the change of innings? Was it something to do with starting out quicker at the top of the innings, given how difficult it was to score in the soft when the ball got stopped?
Not particularly. We spoke about pacing our innings very well, knowing that we've got a lot of strength at the back. But we needed a good start. And to be fair, we were 50 for none, and we lost a wicket with 4 balls to go in the power play. To their best bowler, Boomer has been their best bowler, I think. Their best fast bowler. He's been their best fast bowler all summer. So we lost a wicket to Bumrah just before the power play, and then we lost a couple more shortly thereafter, and then that set us back. So I think Hash worked really hard to try and rebuild, but every time we started to look like we were going to rebuild, we lost wickets, and we just kept losing wickets. And obviously with you know, the 4 bowlers, we needed our batsmen, our best 6 or 7 batsmen to try and bat the bulk of the overs, and we weren't able to do that tonight.
Test matches as well as in one days, if you are ready to work hard, you can score runs.
Yeah, of course, and against this bowling attack, you know, look, a lot of credit has to go to India as well. You know, their top 3, I think in almost every game, one of their top 3 scored 100. That's been the difference in the whole series. You know, we've got 100. I think our captain Faf du Plessis got 100 in Durban, and we've not been able to get another 100 since. You know, so and that's when you look at the series, those are the sort of little differences. You know, and it's not that we can't, because Hash has got 20-something hundreds, so he knows how to make hundreds in one-day international cricket, but he's not been allowed to, either by the way that they've bowled or the sort of lack of confidence in our batting and the way that we've played. So a lot of credit must go to them as well.
Siddharth?
You spoke about how Aiden Markram was batted, the way you don't know after getting seconds. Just in hindsight, would you have gone differently with the captaincy?
No, I think this was a decision for the future. It wasn't a decision for now. You know, Aiden's shown all the hallmarks of somebody that's gonna be a good leader, and we felt with Faf out, we could give him that opportunity. You know, maybe, you know, looking back, I think it was the right decision. So I'm not going to second guess myself. I think it was the right decision.
Yes?
Yeah, all throughout this series, you're not been able to make more than 1 wicket in the first 10 overs, and you've allowed the top order to and you've been. What has been the problem with that?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I think we've obviously tried. We've had plans, and a little bit of luck here and there hasn't gone our way, you know. But again, Markle is a very experienced bowler. KG Rabada is young, but he's on an upward trend for a long time. He's trending in the right direction. You know, but the top order is very experienced also, and they've played well. You know, they've sort of seen off the new ball or been able to score freely. At times, we haven't been able to hold length very well. You know, and I keep saying to the bowlers, you know, in order to control the scoring rate, you have to be able to control your length. And if you can't control length, you can't stop batsmen scoring. And we've not been able to control length as well as we should be doing at this level, and that's allowed them to score quite freely sometimes. But having said that, we also, at the Wanderers and again tonight, we've also, at the sort of middle to the back end of the innings, came back into it very well, you know, and to restrict them, that very strong Indian batting lineup to 270, you would think that we should then go on and chase those runs, but we weren't able to. I don't think so. We got a guy bowling 140, we got some bowling 130, we got a spinner, we got all sorts of different things. But you know, they played very well, and we weren't as good as we should be.
Yes, Crystal?
What would you like to see from the team in the final ODI in this series?
Just a bit more fight, I think. You know, I thought that we succumbed quite easy tonight, to be honest. To be bowled out in 42 overs is very disappointing from a batting point of view. I thought that even with the bowling, there were some soft boundaries and so on, which has gone on the whole series also. But just a little bit more fight with the bat. You know, the Indian spinners got 6 wickets again tonight, I think, or 5 wickets again tonight. Over the course of almost every game, they've picked up at least 5 wickets. And I know that they're very good, but we are also better than we've shown with the bat. And I'd just like to see us actually prove ourselves right in that regard.
Yes?
Our spinners haven't been able to match India's spinners with the wickets. What is the reason for that? Would you say, is it good batting from India, or is it just poor bowling for spinners? South Africa's spinners? I thought
Shamsi bowled very well tonight. You know, but he's bowling at world-class players of spin that grew up playing spin from the time they were very young in India and very comfortable against spin. Sometimes when other teams, not just our team, but when other teams play against a spinning ball that we're not accustomed to in South Africa, we're not accustomed to the ball spinning. The way that the Indian spinners have been able to turn the ball. So sometimes when you come up against that, you feel the pressure of scoring runs and where you're going to get your runs from, and it's something that we've spoken about. You know, we've sat down and looked at all sorts of footage and video of their spinners and so on. But when you get out in the middle, it is can you keep a clear mind and execute what it is that you plan to do. You know, and they've bowled very well, and they've not allowed us that freedom to score. Yeah.
I know that you've been missing players in this series, but even apart from that, what do you identify as the key areas that need improvement, if I can call it that, for the 2019 World Cup in this ODIs?
It's a bit early, you know, to think that. I know we've been focusing on the World Cup, but you know, the team that's going to go to the World Cup, I'm not sure that that's the team that you saw tonight. You know, it's a long way to go yet, but certainly. People that can get wickets at the top of the order, people that can use the new ball effectively and get wickets in England will be essential. And like I said, you know, we've got four batsmen in the top 10 in the world in this format, in the one-day format, and 3 of them are missing. You know, you take 3 of your best batsmen out of any team in the world, they'll struggle. But then when you take them out of against a very strong Indian team, it has exposed us. And, you know, we're not going to make, and I told the lads in the dressing room, we won't make excuses, but we'll try and get better, you know. And it's been a good lesson, and a lesson that I reckon in a year's time it would have been a good lesson to learn right now, just where we are right now with our cricket and with our thinking, and the way we're going to play the game going forward in the next 12 months before the World Cup. But this has given us a good, you know, we've got a good hiding from India. Let's not kid ourselves about that. But it's also given us a lot of food for thought going forward.
Can I get the last piece of that?
You can only pick what you've got. You know what I mean? And swing bowlers. What's his name? I can't even remember his name now. I'm so confused. Bhuvaneshwar is a swing bowler. He's not got many wickets in the series either, you know. So a swing bowler is essential, but you still, like I said, we have bowlers that can swing the ball, you know. Rabada, in good conditions, in conditions that swing, he can swing the ball. You know, but look, we've not played very well. We're obviously very disappointed in the way we played, but like I said, it is a lesson that it is probably better to learn now than learn 12 months from now, you know. So 12 months from now, I think we will be a lot stronger for having had this experience.
Just tangentially, is there something with the balls? Because since 2015 World Cup, even South Indian bowlers are not swinging in that much.
Well, we haven't seen much swing in this series. You know, we haven't seen much swing in the series. We've seen a lot of spin and a lot of turn, but we haven't seen much spin. So going forward, like I said, I'm very, very certain that we'll be a lot stronger for having this experience right now.
লেটেস্ট নিউজ আর এক্সক্লুসিভ ভিডিওর সঙ্গে আপডেট থাকতে এখনই সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল। বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করতে ভুলবেন না যেন।